you might not want to update to Windows 11 quite yet. This month, I'm giving away a G Pro Wireless and a G613. Check out the description to see how you can enter. What's up, guys? Andrew here on my channel, GearedInc, where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. And on my channel, that's PC tech, games, and gear. And we've got some really cool tech news to go over today. Kicking it off, Windows 11 might be up to 30% worse for gamers. This came out of a benchmark ran by UL, the guys who made 3D Mark. And what you need to know is it was caused by a feature called VBS, or Virtualized Base Security. So the way Windows 11 works, this program is essentially reserves a portion of your system memory to run a virtualized machine that helps with things like protecting you from viruses, spyware, malware, that type of thing. However, my sneaking suspicion is that this is actually their way of controlling more of the software that Windows sells to you to make sure that you're not running cracked licenses for Office, for example. But I have no way of proving that. Regardless, because of the amount of system memory this was taking and the benchmarks ran, they showed that there was a 28% performance deficit when this feature was enabled. Now, if you're updating from a version of Windows 10, supposedly this will not be enabled. So if you're just doing the free update, then you shouldn't have to worry about it. Only people doing a fresh install will have this basically installed by default. Now, if you're worried about it being there, don't worry. I'm going to do a 5 things to do after you install Windows 11 video. So make sure you come back and subscribe for that. So if it is turned on, you know how to turn that feature off. Speaking of Windows 11, if you're just wanting to go ahead and update to it right away, they actually released a day early the 3 different ways that you can essentially update. So you have your Windows Assistant, which is essentially updating from Windows 10. If you currently have Windows 10 already installed on the machine, you can create an ISO for a fresh installation, or basically other media if you want to do a brand new installation on a computer. So if you don't want to wait anymore for Windows 11 and you want to jump right in, which I typically never recommend unless you're someone like me who kind of has to do it because you obviously need to be at the front of technology for the content you're creating, I would hold off and wait. However, Windows may not be the only option coming up pretty quickly here. Due to the popularity of the upcoming Steam Deck, Valve announced that they were actually able to get Easy Anti-Cheat, this is in conjunction with Riot, working on Linux. Now, the reason this is so exciting is there are a lot of people who would much rather use Linux for gaming rather than Windows 10, and they've never done it because anti-cheat features simply haven't been able to function on the platform. The more developer software is enabled and allowing you to play the games you want to, regardless of the operating system, Linux could quickly become kind of the gamer's choice when it comes to it, meaning that consumers may buy Windows 10 computers if you're a general user, and then Linux would be the one you would buy if you're a gamer. That's a very possible future if support continues. Speaking of gaming, Nvidia is going to be releasing 3 GPUs nobody is asking for. So supposedly they're coming out with a 3090 Super, which why do that? They're coming out with a 3070 Ti with more VRAM and a 2060. Why do that with more VRAM as well? Now, I'm saying why do that, but I get it. It's because obviously there's a GPU glut, and any GPUs they can get into consumer hands is money in their pocket. The reason they're upping the VRAM on this is because they want there to be more support for higher resolution and texture packages that are quickly becoming kind of more demanding when we're talking about AAA titles. Although releasing a 3090 Super is stupid. Like, all these cards are kind of dumb, but the 3090 Super, it's just money. I mean, that's all it comes down to. Now, talking about new hardware, there were recent links on a European site showing the new Alder Lake Intel CPUs, both pricing and their basically base clock, which doesn't match up obviously with the leaks we've seen. These CPUs appear to be more expensive, even taking into consideration the value added tax. And the base clock on these CPUs isn't as high as essentially previously showed. Now, hopefully here in the United States, we're not going to have to pay quite as high as over there because we don't have a value-added tax, although we pay for it in other ways. And quite frankly, in order to be competitive with AMD, even if they are a better performer, they're going to have to get prices pretty close considering we're going to have a new generation of CPUs anyway in 2022. And wrapping up tech news today, I know this is kind of old news now, it's like 5 days old, but literally I need to make my piece on this. The new renders for basically the new Arc GPUs from Intel, if these things are even close to the way these GPUs look, they're awful. Like, that plastic looks super cheap. I hate the fact that they're going with just a traditional 2-fan setup. Like, I was hoping Intel would innovate a little bit, but I mean, obviously they haven't innovated for the last 10 years. So what was I expecting? I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about this GPU design, but to me, this looks terrible. I do not like the way this looks, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I hope this doesn't look like this in the end final product. So anyway, guys, that's tech news coming at you. Remember to get subscribed for new videos coming out. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you thought it was terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember to get subscribed and hit the bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. Today's the last day to enter the keyboard mouse giveaway, and I've got more giveaways coming, so make sure to check back for that. And as always, guys, I'll see every single one of you next time here on GearedInc.